Gaming news today is all about setting expectations. First, Titanfall 3 is apparently just around the corner, but also it's not. That's why the title of the stream is Titanfall 3 Grand Opening, Grand Closing. We're going to look at the two claims being made and try to decide if the ever-elusive Titanfall 3 is actually happening, or should we set our expectations to none? And the second thing going on with expectations hit yesterday is Outer Worlds 2 gameplay debuted over at IGN, and it looks bad, but also there's elements of it that are good, but there's something that is really, really off with the footage. I'm going to give my thoughts about what's going on. I had a tweet with the video, hit like over 130,000 views overnight because there's something off with the footage, and we'll discuss what could be going on there. Third, we do now have the official Xbox Showcase announcement, and it will be followed by a direct for none other than Outer Worlds 2. What does this mean, though, for the annual Call of Duty? When will it be announced? And why are they, not having that direct slot for Call of Duty every year? I'm actually glad they're not, but we're going to discuss what this means for COD and when we think we might hear about it. And as always, I do have a game for your wish list and your radar, and Blueprints went live 10 minutes ago. We will be playing that today as well. So if you're looking for Blueprints gameplay, check for that VOD later. Now, if you are watching this as a past broadcast, it's super helpful when you guys hit the like button. Even if you're not here for the live shows, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed and your bell button is set to all. Some of those are getting switched to personalized. And if you want to support the channel directly, you've already missed out on morning coffee, and you're also missing out on Green Room if you're not a paying member. So consider clicking join, pick Member Plus for $6, and you get extra talk shows every day, not just the one that we do in the public. So let's get into this. What in the world is going on with Titanfall, okay? Well, celebrations about Titanfall 3 were quickly dashed, but it remains unclear who has the most accurate information. Insider Gaming had the headline here: Titanfall 3 is, quote, almost complete, says leak, and has a campaign, multiplayer, and Apex Legends content. And here's what they reported. Leaker Alsvadator, or probably like Alsvadatori, claims that Titanfall 3 is almost complete and has described many features to expect from the new shooter. The source is considered a reliable Apex Legends leaker, making ties and connections to the Titanfall franchise logical and promising. Now, this is somebody who's getting reliable information about Apex. What this means is they have a source at Respawn that gives them accurate intel. And here's the bullet points of what they're claiming about Titanfall 3. It's in Unreal Engine 5. It's almost complete. There's a single-player campaign. It'll be live service with battle passes. Its main mode is Extraction. It'll have TDM, Control, Arenas, and all Titanfall 2 classic modes, some returning Apex characters, as well as a weather system. Now, given their reliability with Apex Legends, it would seem they've got concrete information here. This doesn't feel made up, and I don't know why, if you're getting reliable information about Apex and you're known as a reliable Apex Legends leaker, why would you suddenly just lie and make up a bunch of things about Titanfall 3? Now, I was privately contacted by a source that I trust, and they said that the Titanfall 3 leaks appear to be accurate from what they looked into. However, Jeff Grubb says no, okay? He's another industry insider, and he said that this is not real, that there's a small team over there at Respawn, and they're working on like prototype content that does include Titans, but there's nothing over there at Respawn that he believes is leading to like a Titanfall 3 right around the corner, okay? He says if they are working on something that will be Titanfall 3, it's not anywhere near being made right now, because as he indicated, this is a small team working on prototype like content. So again, my question here is, why would a reliable Apex Legends leaker suddenly have all this very specific info about Titanfall 3 and it be completely wrong and completely made up, or just completely inaccurate? It doesn't really add up. It doesn't really make any sense. Now, it's possible that the smaller team that Grubb spoke about is working on Titanfall 3, and maybe this person got their wires crossed and they heard all the details and thought that, oh, it's very, very close to coming out. At this point, I would just say it's a giant question mark. I actually lean towards something coming, something actually exists, because of the significant amount of details that the leaker had. So we'll wait and see. Jeff Grubb and insiders and leakers, none of them have perfect like perfect track records. So we'll see, who ends up being right in this case. Now, as far as being right or looking right, the latest footage from Outer Worlds 2 just doesn't look right at all. And I'm not talking about the graphics. The graphics actually look quite good. The art direction looks good. The sound design's really good, like when they get out this little, their little tools and stuff here. However, this 11-minute gameplay reveal of Outer Worlds 2 over there at IGN is one of the strangest things I think I've ever seen in gameplay reveal. This is like basically the first extensive look we've gotten at the game, and it reminds me of when the really, really bad gameplay from IGN happened with Redfall, but in a very different way, okay? First, the graphical fidelity, the lighting, the texture detail, all this stuff looks totally fine to me. I'm not seeing any signs of trouble, but the performance of the game is terrible. There is constant screen tearing, and there's constant almost like jittering effects, and it looks so bad, and the player seemingly knows that this is happening. They're noticeably going incredibly slow throughout the entire 11 minutes. It's not just like, right here in the beginning where they're kind of like setting the scene and showing you stuff, or somebody's like, oh, well, maybe they're trying to show off stealth gameplay. No, they're moving slow to try to minimize the screen tearing, okay? The screen tearing can also happen with a capture card. So this could quite literally be really bad capture. Whoever at IGN recorded this, maybe they don't know to change settings. Maybe they don't know to go in and make sure that the capture card frames is set to the same frames that the game is set, because the capture card is essentially functioning as a monitor or a television before you get to like see it on your monitor or your television. And so if the capture card is not configured properly, it can cause screen tearing. I get it all the time. People are like, well, why are you turning on VSync? If I don't turn on VSync, my capture card will get screen tearing every single time without fail. Now, I recently played the Metal Eden demo, and it had screen tearing when I played in performance mode. So there certainly could be actual screen tearing happening in the game, or it could be IGN's capture. In either case, I don't know why you would debut this. I don't know why you would show this footage off. It looks terrible. It makes the player play in such an unnatural way. It makes them move incredibly slow. They're doing things that don't make sense. So if IGN made a mistake in their capture, they would probably want to own that and say that and maybe re-upload a new video. If the game itself is having issues, I'm really not sure why you would showcase this on the very same day that you announce there's an Outer Worlds 2 Direct coming in the summer after the Xbox showcase. So it remains to be seen what they were thinking here, but it looks really bad. I'm hoping... screen tearing is not something that's like endemic to a game. That's something that typically can be solved by changing a setting or fixing something somewhere. It's not like, oh, it's a bad game, but it ends up being a bad showcase because of that. So, and speaking of showcases, the Xbox showcase has been officially announced. And in case you missed it, the showcase will be Sunday, June 8th at noon Eastern. Now, that's following the weekend that the Summer Game Fest kicks off with Jeff Keighley. It'll then be followed by an Outer Worlds 2 Direct, as I previously said, which this, to me, begs the question, when will the annual Call of Duty show up? I'm actually glad that they're not just going to use that slot every year just for Call of Duty. That'd be an easy decision to make, right? Like, hey, every time we do our showcase, when the showcase is over, we kick things over to our biggest piece of property, Call of Duty. Now, given that it's already April, I'm actually kind of curious when the next Call of Duty is going to be announced, right? Are they going to announce it in May or June? Are they going to announce it at the Xbox showcase? But then is it going to have its own event? They typically do like to have their own events. For now, it seems like Summer Game Fest will follow a very similar schedule of cadence, with Xbox landing on Sunday as they typically do, which begs another question. Will PlayStation be doing a showcase? We've heard there are rumors they will be doing a showcase in May. We've also heard that that's when the GTA 6 marketing will spin up and that PlayStation will be a part of it. So we will see. With Xbox doing a slightly different plan this year than in the previous year with Call of Duty. We'll see when we hear about that, and we'll see if PlayStation decides to actually come to the summer showcase season with a showcase instead of a state of play. And now a game for your wish list and your radar. This one's called Mandragora, Whispers of the Witch Tree. I put this on your radar before, but I like to circle back to games when they're very close to showing up. It's coming to Xbox Series consoles, PS5, Switch, and Steam on April 17th. So, roughly a week from today, next week. Now, they describe this as an epic action RPG in a dark fantasy world, battle monsters across 40-plus hour story. 40-hour story. Make sure you hear that one, okay? You master 6 unique classes, craft hundreds of useful items, and explore the secrets of an expansive, interconnected world. Now, they do say that it has Souls-like combat. They say choose from one of 6 unique classes, including the Vanguard, Flame Weaver, Spellbinder, Nightshade, Wild Warden, and the Vindicator. Now, whether by blade or magic, master your craft in brutal battles. Combat is simple to grasp, but with nuanced depth. Dodge, parry, and strike with perfect timing to avoid pitiful fate. So, it is going to be a hard game. It is going to have that Souls-like combat. However, they say this about the difficulty. If you're new to the action RPG or Souls-like games, you can also tune the difficulty to your skill level in the settings. When your journey is over, restart as a stronger, wiser, deadlier Inquisitor with a more challenging with more challenges that await you in New Game Plus. So I think it's got great art style. It's kind of like a 2D side-scroller, first Berserker Kazan. Definitely checking this one out. So put that one on your wish list and your radar. And that's the news. Now it's time for the discussion. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Make sure you guys are smashing that like button. Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. And I got to add some things to the total here. We got Ghost in the Garage Gaming. He bumped the member count before I was even live. He jumped back in as a member plus. And then Han shot first, and so did you, Joker Quinn, with the first gifted member of the day. Gets us to 208. And I do have blueprints installing right now. We will be checking that out later today. If you guys have been kind of interested in that game and how it plays, we'll be checking that out today. Somebody says it's more like the original Salt and Sanctuary. Yeah, I mean, the Salt and Sanctuary games, I remember playing them and really enjoying the combat. I did not like, I don't like games where they don't tell you where to go, and it's like a side-scroller like that, when it's like, can you just tell me, do I need to go up, down, left, right? Like, I don't need you to hold my hand, just a little arrow. Like, this is the correct direction, because when your combat's that challenging, I have a hard time in games like that knowing or being able to deduce, am I supposed to go this way and just keep trying and failing? Or am I failing because I'm not supposed to go this way yet, right? Like, I remember I kind of checked out with Salt and Sanctuary for that reason. I was like, I liked the combat. I liked that first boss. And then it was like, I don't know where you want me to go. The non-linear thing that they do in Souls-likes, it kind of drives me a little crazy, because I prefer side-scrollers to be a Metroidvania anyway. If you're going to give me like really challenging combat, I like it to be third person, like a Sekiro or something. But on 2D side-scroller angle, it's like I'd rather be playing a Metroidvania a lot of the times. First question, I read somewhere that the leaks appeared on April the 1st and that most people are skeptical because even though it's on a good track record, it could be an April Fool's. Hang on a second. Are you sure about that? Let me see. Did nobody pick up on this guy tweeting on April the 1st? Did all of us miss that? No, he tweeted this. He said more Titanfall 3 info on April the 9th. He tweeted the Titanfall 3 logo on April the 3rd. 8-Bit Dad with 25 months and a member plus. Thank you so much. Let me add you to the total. Appreciate you. I don't know. I'm not seeing any evidence that he did it as an April Fool's joke. I'm looking at his feed right now, and he said something about it on April the 3rd. I mean, if you're going to do an April Fool's joke on April the 3rd, that doesn't really feel like an April Fool's joke. Do you know what I'm saying? For the past 2 years, we hear about Titanfall 3, and then we hear EA canceled it. When did we hear that EA canceled it? No, read that in a thread. An article referenced the first leaks on April the 1st. Oh. This guy has indicated that his source is very confident. He replied to somebody. So this guy isn't just like on Reddit. He is a reliable Apex Legends leaker. And he said that his source is very confident. The only thing the source wasn't confident in was the release date, which is why the leaker didn't include a release date. He's like, yeah, my source isn't confident in the release date, so I'm not going to say anything about the release date. He posted the first time on April the 1st and then followed it up on the 2nd. No, he didn't. I was just on his Twitter feed. That's not true. PC Gamer is saying Electronic Arts didn't cancel Titanfall 3, Respawn did. Yeah, that was 2 years ago, though. No, that's not a cancel, and that's such a false frame. They didn't cancel it. They decided to build Apex instead. They basically didn't build Titanfall 3, and that's what everybody was expecting them to do. That's not them canceling Titanfall 3. Captain Toasty Buns with 39 months, welcome back. There are two guys that did the leak. It was first posted on April the 1st. But that's not what this guy is doing, though. He's not saying that he's a part of that other guy's leak. He literally replied to somebody, and he said that his source is confident in the information he's got. He said, source is 100% sure about everything I was told minus the announcement release dates, which I conveniently left out for this reason. He's saying that he's talking to a source. This isn't an April Fool's joke. Now, all Jeff Grubb said was, it's not real. He says it's not real. And then he said, there's a small team working on like what did he call it? Like a prototype thing with like, there's Titans involved. The first one was a joint leak. I'm not talking about that. I am not talking about some leak that took place on April the 1st. I'm talking about a guy who is a reliable Apex Legends leaker. That's what he does. He leaks info about Apex and he gets it right. It would make zero sense for this guy on April the 3rd and then April the 9th and then yesterday to be doubling down and being like, no, I got all this information from a source. And that guy is one of the two leakers in the first leak. Where did he do that, though? He didn't do it on his Twitter. It's not surprising that some random people posted about Titanfall 3 on April Fools. That ain't this guy. Leaf. Are you trying to get me to say something? Leaf Buck. I thought you were trying to get me to say something. You're not. Leaf Buck with a Member Plus. You love to see it. We're trying to get that Member Plus number to get even higher and higher. We just recently hit 600. We're trying to get to 700. This Saturday, we are going to do the IRL stream. I wasn't able to do the IRL stream this past weekend because my house flooded from the crazy rainstorms. So make sure you are up to date at a Member Plus. You cannot come to the IRL stream on Saturday if you are not at Member Plus or higher. No, that's just my name. We've had some people make funny names recently where they try to get me to say like Mike, Roch, and stuff like that. They got Lono paranoid about names. Well done, team. Yeah, well done on them. Yeah, they got me. They totally did. I heard somewhere that they were going to do Titan mode for Apex. The rumor was Titans were coming to Apex Legends. Buckeye says this isn't an April Fool's joke. The guy is saying that he originally posted on April 1st because people don't believe things on April the 1st. He saw it as a fun opportunity. He followed it up afterwards. Okay, so he has in fact said that it's not an April Fool's joke. Okay. And the Cisco with 30 months of membership says, when is Anthem 2? Probably never. Probably never. Breaking, Respawn plans to announce Titanfall 3 at TGA and plans to release it in the fall of 2026. Happy April Fool's Day. Yeah, that's a completely different guy. That's not the guy that we're talking about. Did the other guy jump on this and do something with it as a joke? Because this this is a separate person. The guy that leaked the most recent one, Al Svadatori or whatever his name is. Like, this is who we were pulling from for today. This guy. Apex Legends leaker with 22,000 followers. April the 3rd, he puts Titanfall 3. April the 9th, he puts all this information, right? Escape from the Frontier. And then he replies to somebody, and he says, source is 100% sure about everything I was told minus the announcement and release dates, which I conveniently left out for a reason. This is why I don't like leakers. I'm just saying, it would be really, really weird if this... Listen to me now. If this guy was doing an April Fool's thing, he would have said that by now. There it is. There's Mr. Oxlong. Thank you for the 5 gifted members. And he gets us to 217 members on the week. Thank you so much, Mr. Oxlong. Best comment on the article. The terrorists made my pills unaffordable, and now I'm seeing Titanfall 3 leaks again. That's right. That's right. Guys, make sure you are smashing the like button as you pile in the door today. Little lighter turnout because the news cycle is light, but we're going to have some fun today. We are going to check out Blueprints. Give me a sec. Yeah, again, that's not the same person. I'm not quite sure what you're attempting to do here with a completely different person, Lone Wolf. I heard about this news in December and sought assistance from Osservatore to verify the authenticity. So thank you. Oh, so he thanks Osservatore. Okay, so now we're getting some explanation here. According to game leakers, these two people, Titanfall 3 is happening and is planning to release in 2026. Okay. Yeah, I again, it's, to me, Osservatore, if that's how you're supposed to say it, if it's like Italian or something, he's showing no signs of goofing around or joking around. He's showing no signs of that. He gets called Mr. and you just use my first name. That's right. That's right. I've got the other tweets. Lone Wolf put them in the Discord. I'm here to tell you, I don't... This is how I'm looking at it. The guy has 22,000 followers, and he accurately leaks Apex stuff. Neither was the other guy. Yeah, they're not joking around. So we've completely dispelled the notion that this is some kind of an April Fool's joke or some kind of an April Fool's hoax, okay? We've completely dispelled that notion. This guy's got specific details about the game, okay? Now, he may have crossed his wires and the details are accurate, but the timing is not. Because Jeff Grubb is like, this isn't real. There's nothing that's being worked on over there at Respawn to line up with this. But the problem with what Jeff's doing is Jeff can't... It's difficult to falsify something just because you haven't heard about it. Because Jeff's like, well, the only team over there that could be working on this is a small team that's working on prototype stuff. And it's like, okay, Jeff's information could be completely, totally accurate, and it doesn't necessarily falsify with what this other leaker is saying. Yes, I saw that, Barrier. Yeah, Bungie has confirmed you will not need a PSN to play Marathon if you're playing on like Xbox or the PC. It's hard to prove a negative. It really is hard to prove a negative. If Jeff would have come out and said, I reached out to my contacts at Respawn and they shot this down in flames and said it's not happening, I'd be like, okay, the leakers must have gotten their wires crossed. But all Jeff is saying is that, like, the only thing he's aware of a team that could be working on it is a small team doing prototype stuff with Titans. Let's be serious. Here, Apex is making the most profit and is doing way more than both Titanfall games combined, so why do Titanfall 3? Well, I feel like you're creating a false dichotomy, FCAT. You can be doing well and making tons of money with Apex and also invest in another game and a team to build it. Like, just because Apex is doing well doesn't mean internally they would be like, well, no, we never want to greenlight anything else ever again. We have zero interest in the IP of Titanfall. I don't think that's how companies typically interact with their existing property. They're not like, well, the new thing we're doing is making tons of money, so screw anything we've ever done ever before. This guy replied to the Outer Worlds 2 footage. How many times have we seen footage from a vertical slice, which we don't know how long it was made, that was shown these issues that get fixed by launch? I'd say pretty much most of the games ever released that don't just show a canned CGI trailer. Why do people type things that are so incredibly incorrect and wrong? Like, why are you wasting your time and mine typing up what's basically a lie? I've been covering video games for a decade, my friend, and they do not put out trailers with screen tearing in them. Like, what are you talking about? When's the last time we watched a trailer where they were like, here's our gameplay debut of our game, and it has screen tearing in the dadgum trailer? I don't even think I can think of an instance of that ever happening before. This isn't a common occurrence. Now, the slow turning and the slow panning to hide low frames per second, yes, companies do that to make 30 FPS look prettier. Yo, what's good, gaming tech? I don't think I've ever seen a company come out and say, here's 11 minutes of our game, and there's screen tearing and the camera's moving like painfully slow in every instance of gameplay. The screen tearing in Mario Kart and DK was so bad. Super, people are going to think that you're being serious. Oh. Oh my golly. Halo Infinite gameplay reveal was rough. It wasn't screen tearing though. That was like a graphical fidelity thing. Like, people watch that trailer and they're like, what the frick was that? What was that? We complain because most of the trailers are cinematic versus actual gameplay. I've never seen screen tearing in a cinematic trailer. I've watched tons of gameplay trailers. There are tons of them. They do game. What do you mean? There's tons of gameplay trailers out there. They do their teaser, they do their cinematic trailer, and then most companies then come out with your gameplay trailer as well later. And then also after your gameplay trailer, you usually have a release date trailer and a launch date trailer. I've watched more trailers than I could probably even count, and I don't think I've ever watched a gameplay trailer where the gameplay had screen tearing in it. And you can tell that the guy knew there was screen tearing. He's moving really, really slow. He's actually trying to hide it. This is 1,000,000% accurate. I just spit out water because I'm currently in Microsoft Word. Have you guys seen this video? This video is really, really funny. It says moving a photo in Microsoft Word. Watch. It's so true. It is so true. You're like, you go to move it and like everything is chaos a second later. You like move it like half an inch in the document. Demon Souls had screen tearing in the trailer. It was one time, but it was there. It do be like that. Yeah. Is it IGN's fault? Oh, Petrov, it totally could be IGN's fault. If I'm the Outer Worlds team and I see that trailer, I'd be picking up the phone and I'd be like, IGN, what the frick did you do? Right? Or if I'm at the team at Outer Worlds 2 and I'm in charge, I'm calling somebody and being like, why did we give them a build that has so much screen tearing in it? Why did GameSpot? Oh my gosh. You guys want to see? Look at what GameSpot just did. How to solve the breaker box puzzle in Blueprints. How to solve the gallery puzzle. How to solve room 8. How to reach. How to reach. How to unlock. How to unlock. How to solve. Yeah. Hey, whoever's in charge of the GameSpot Twitter account. I think you were supposed to schedule those to drop throughout the day. They're just like, Here's every guide for every level and room right now. And they just publish all the tweets at the same time. Just bought a 5070 computer. Do you have any PC recommendations? What recommendation would I have for you? You bought one. What do you want me to recommend? You want me to recommend games? I would recommend almost any of the PlayStation ports if you're wanting to play beautiful games, you know. I don't know why anyone would believe Jeff Grubb after the many false claims this guy had. Can you give me an example of something that he's made that he said is false? I don't know what you're referring to. Sometimes these guys get bad intel or the intel changes. I don't think that makes them like he's not I don't think there has ever been an instance where Jeff Grubb came out and willfully lied. I think he just says, this is what I heard. And I think people get really angry when the what I heard changes. That happens all of the time. Didn't Grubb blame Switch 2 price on tariffs? I don't know. People that were blaming the Switch 2 price on tariffs, I think they were just jumping to a conclusion. That's since been falsified. I want the Titanfall 3 game now, please. I have never played an FPS more than Titanfall 2. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, man. Get us to 200 likes. It really helps on these lighter turnouts. You know, we have a slightly slower news day. Didn't Grubb... hang on, I read that. I definitely can't blame Jeff Grubb for his perspective. The Titanfall community has been burned so many times before. All he's saying is what he knows, and from what he knows, he's like, yeah, I don't think this is happening. Like that's he's not saying that it'll never happen. He's not saying that they'll never build it or whatever. He's just saying, from what I know, what they're working on, there's no Titanfall 3 coming anytime soon. If the person knew it was there, then it probably wasn't a capture issue, which would have been noticed after the capture was made and not preemptively mitigated with the slow turning. Well, hang on, Jim. What you're saying is logical, but you're forgetting something. It could have been somebody unfamiliar with settings in OBS or whatever recording software they were using. So they might not know that if you got your capture card set to 60, you need to set the game to 60 and you need to turn on VSync. They might not know that. It could have been somebody that was literally, like they could have handed it to an intern and said, hey, we need 11 minutes of footage. Can you just walk around in this vertical slice, talk to some people, you know, pick some things up, fight some enemies, and then upload it to the drive so that we have it. And that intern might have had no idea. They might have been like, I'm getting some pretty bad screen tearing. I guess I'll just move slow to try to minimize it, right? They might not have known. Yeah, OBS could be set to 30 and then capture set to 60 because OBS defaults when you first open it a lot of the times, depending on how long it's been since it's been updated or if it's a fresh install. Sometimes it can be literally set to 30. How long has IGN been around? You think they would know how to properly show off games? Have an SOP lying around? I'm not making excuses. I'm trying to imagine how it would have gone unnoticed. Slow pans are also common. Slow pans are common if you're just trying to like show things off. When the action started, they weren't slow panning. They move throughout the entire thing, Gale, slowly. It's not just to show off the world. They literally, everything they do is incredibly slow. So either somebody at IGN messed up, or maybe whoever sent over the vertical slice to IGN, maybe they messed up. Maybe they sent a version where you couldn't turn on VSync or something. Listen, I downloaded 2 demos in a row on my PlayStation where I couldn't invert the controls. It wouldn't let me. Yeah, I saw the backgrounds on the PS5, Alex. I turned on Ghost of Yote this morning. Big Evil with 26 months. Drop the GTA 6 trailer. Happy 26 months. Thank you so much, Big Evil. And that gets us to 218. Thank you very much. Someone should have looked into it before making it public. Oh, I 100% agree with you. Yes. I 100% agree with you. Why on earth would that get out? Can't invert the controls. I'm out. Yeah, I literally had 2 games where I couldn't play. I was like, I can't play your game. We had one of them as an incentive. We were going to play Infinity Nikki like as a joke, and it was like brand new. What was it, like early access beta or something? I can't even remember. And I couldn't invert the controls. And then I got a code for something. I forget what it was. Some kind of a demo or something. And it literally would not let me invert the controls. Like, it wasn't an option in the game. I'm like, I don't understand how this happens. That's a pretty basic expectation that I have for your game. Are you going to do the Indiana Jones game and compare? I have zero interest in doing that. I applied for a code through Keymailer, and anyone having issues with YouTube today, the live stream won't load, but I can go to other videos, no issue, even in other browsers. Really? I wondered why the view count was and turnout was so low. I wonder if other people are having problems. Clear your cache. Yeah, but he's literally saying he can watch other videos on YouTube. What would clearing his cache have anything to do with it? He's literally saying he can go to other videos. I thought maybe turnout was just light because of the topic, but that's weird that he's not having the issue on other videos. I wonder if there's something regionally going on, maybe with live streams. Fuzzy, ask him if he can watch other live streams or can he only watch videos. I wonder if there's a regional issue with live streams specifically. It's not his phone. He's watching on a browser. The Masters just started too. I got it playing on one of my work monitors now. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah, Indiana Jones. I applied for a code on Keymailer, and I got instantly rejected. So, no, I'm not going to buy another copy of Indiana Jones to compare. Because I do not care, like, at all. I would have given them the coverage and the free marketing and the free press if they would have given me a code. I'd be like, yeah, thanks, cool. But, you know, they want to play their blacklisting games. That's fine. I'm not going to be spiteful about it. I'm just like, I literally covered South of Midnight and gave it a lot of great praise, and it's one of my most watched live streams recently. It's got like 8,000 views. And they gave me a code for South of Midnight, funny enough. They actually did. So I you know what I mean? You got someone in the Xbox marketing team that decided they don't like me. That's fine. I don't play these petty games. If you're not going to give me a code, that's fine by me. There's plenty of other games to play, and there's plenty of other topics to cover. Reaper with 34 months and a member plus, and 43 months from Raijin at VIP sets us up perfectly for a 5-bomb dunker at 220. I'll owe you guys 5 at 225. Inverted control and left-handed people are part of DEI. What? You know what's sad is I feel like there are people who might believe that. Everybody knows beans and chili is woke. James Wolfgang with 35 months and a member plus. I'm torn between getting Lost Soul Aside and Night Rain decisions. That adds to the total and takes us to 221. Thank you so much. Sounds like he's trolling. I'm pretty sure he's trolling. Yeah. But it does, doesn't it? It's like, it sounds like something we would hear. And another member plus comes in from Siriu, and that is almost an entire year of support. Thank you so much, Siriu. And that gets us to 222. Thank you very much. Make sure that you guys are smashing the like button. We are at 179 likes. Let's try to get 200 likes. We can really turn streams like this around sometimes. Fragpunk is coming to PS5 and Xbox on April the 29th. I'm interested to see what games like that are looking for with respect to player base numbers. So, you know, because again, I just continue to look at all these live service games coming out, and I'm like, man, oh man, I don't know, dude. It's a saturated market out there, boys. I'm seeing people claiming the main character in South of Midnight picks and shoots cotton. What? No. She doesn't do that. She finds like these spirit plant things. I don't know. What are they talking about? That game should be on Switch too, Fragpunk. You're ambidextrous, then you're twice the DEI if you're ambidextrous. It was terrible again at 4:30. It's like the same time. Oh yeah. Yeah. As long as I sit up straight, it's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. So, clearly something pinched. People are like, go to the chiropractor. Maybe. Where Winds Meet officially comes to PS5 in 2025. We've won, guys. Accessibility falls under inclusion. That's DEI. That's right. I mean, I understand the reference, Murphy. I don't think she's picking cotton in the game. I think it's like she can see, she has like the ability to see the spirit world, and there are these like spiritual like plant things. I don't think it's what is it called? South of Midnight. It's like floof or something. I don't think that's supposed to even resemble a cotton plant. It's like a glowing, this is just like a glowing plant that you pick. Like I don't understand why anybody would think that that's that. Look. Cotton plant. That don't even remotely look like that. A cotton plant is like almost like tree-like. Look, open image in a new tab. Yeah, I think these people are losing. I think people are literally losing their minds. It's almost like a tree with like little puffs on it. This is like a floating spiritual bush thing? I don't know, man. I think people are losing their minds. What I wrote wasn't a joke. It's literally how it is, said Zubair. What'd you say, Zuby? Hang on a second. Oh, accessibility. Oh, yeah. I mean, they did that with Doom, the Dark Ages. Yeah. Well, there we go. Maybe YouTube was having an issue. The numbers are looking a little bit more normal now. Look, you guys keep smashing the like button. We're talking about all kinds of different things. Titanfall 3, the Titanfall 3 leaks, whether or not they're true or not. People making outrageous claims about South of Midnight. Whatever. It's a 360 game. If gaming has come to this, we're getting a little crazy out here. It's an analogy for a spiritual loom, not cotton. Yeah, doesn't she find the loom like in that one room? And I said something about what's the guy's weird name? You have to guess his name in the old story. His oh my gosh, I said it when I was playing and I can't remember it now. I worry what the AI summary will say after all these comments, right? Do people really think Sweet Baby Inc. would let the cotton thing slip into a game they were helping develop? Well, they didn't help develop it. They're consultants. Yeah, Rumpelstiltskin. Yeah. She finds like a room with a loom in it. Yeah. They're losing it. I watched a stream yesterday, and the desperation to find offense or make a joke. I don't know what to tell you. I actually am looking forward to playing the game, hoping that they can do something with the I'm hoping that they can do something with the combat, because the combat just doesn't feel very good in South of Midnight. I was pleasantly surprised at how good the platforming felt. That was my main concern, because like one of the preview videos One of the preview videos, the platforming looked a little bit rough, and then I played and I was like, "Wow, the platforming feels great." I'm actually pretty impressed, but the combat was tough. Asmongold liked everything but the combat. Yeah, the graphics impressed me. The soundtrack was solid. I'm hoping they can polish that combat, and then it'll end up on PlayStation one day, I'm assuming, with how Xbox is handling their content. I actually think it'd probably do pretty well on PlayStation. It's kind of like Kena Bridge of Spirits adjacent. So I would think that by the time it lands there, if the combat's better, I'll yank it out of the backlog and I'll play all the way through it. Right now, I just don't have time for it. I'm trying to make my way through AC Shadows. I just finally got to the point where they switch you to Yasuke, and I'm 15 hours in. So you don't think the combat will ever feel great? I mean, I can dream, I can hope, because I actually really liked the game. I was enjoying my time in it. I usually only forgive simple combat in games with tons of character customization. I can't stand it in the straightforward games like South of Midnight. Right, because it's such an important part of the game. Like, you can't have that part of the game be bad. That was one of the reasons why I really was worried about the traversal. I'm like, I don't want to traverse a world and have it feel awkward, bad, stiff, or clumsy. The same people who moaned why they don't make movies about Black Mermaid folks are whining about this game. I'm not sure I understand. There's also no filler nonsense. It's very straightforward. Yeah. You just kind of go to the next thing, go to the next thing, go to the next thing, for sure. You finally got the great scene. Listen, man, for whatever reason, a lot of the people that reviewed that game said that the story wasn't that great and fell flat. And I'm like, I don't know what the frick game y'all played, but this story is dope. It is dope. When you finally find out what happened with the little kid, that's all I'm going to say. There's a little kid and an old man that nurse Naoe back to health. When you get a flashback of who this kid is, and in relation to Naoe, I'm like, how do people not think this is a great story? People are, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. It hits hard. It hits really, really hard in Japanese, because like Yasuke's voice is like this low rumble and he sounds incredible. And so when he shows up and the lightning flashes and he's like, "You've made your choice," then I'm like, yo, this guy he is awesome. He is awesome, bro. People are missing out on such a great game and a great story because they're like, well, historical accuracy. And it's like, okay, all right. Man, there's Sleep at the Wheel. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, how did anybody watch this scene with the kid and you get the flashback and I'm like, what? Like, are you kidding me? This is great storytelling. It only hits hard if you have actual human emotions. AI bots can understand it. Here's why I'm liking it. Like, when I played through Ghost of Tsushima, one of the excellent things they did in Tsushima with the storytelling was there are these threads of what's the right path. You know what I mean? There are these moral quandaries, these decisions of, is this vengeance or justice? Are we on a righteous journey, or are we just angry and wanting to kill people? Like, always having that kind of question in your mind. And Assassin's Creed Shadows, the way they set up Naoe and Yasuke working together, I was like, this is great. I was like, what in the world did people play? I'm sincerely wondering if a lot of the journalists had it on English and they rushed and they missed all these little scenes and these little nuances because they were in a hurry, because it's a beefy game. You can't rush. I'm 15 hours in and I just switched to Yasuke, and I'm like, they have done an excellent job with the story. And I would have been very critical of the story if it was chintzy or glib or whatever coming from Tsushima. And that scene last night, I'm like, I feel like I'm watching a TV show. This is so well done and so thoughtful. And what they call themselves, I don't know, man. I feel like people are missing out. I really, really do. I feel like I'm wondering if it'll age well, if people will move on from a lot of this nonsense and give it a fair shake and be like, man, we were lied to. This is actually a really good game. Lono, I feel gamers today, they complain too much about games instead of enjoying. Do you agree? I've talked about this before. AC Shadow's dub is pretty bad from what I've seen. The English dub, I'm playing in Japanese, and when Yasuke shows up, and he's like walking slowly in the rain, and he stands his ground, I thought it was incredible. I was like, this is like, I feel like I'm watching an anime. This is awesome. This is something that I think happens, 809 Lion. So, when you play through a game, and you highlight the problems, that's normal. That's normal. So when I was playing through South of Midnight, and I was like, that feels good, that runs well, the jump, the double jump, the glide, the traversal, all these things feel good. But the combat doesn't feel good, okay? I'm almost going like this. I'm taking my hand and I'm rubbing it along the surface of the table, and I'm looking for rough spots. And if I find one, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a rough spot here. Yeah, everything else is pretty smooth, okay? Now contrast that to what I feel like a lot of other people do is they get out a magnifying glass and they're like, I'm going to find every flaw, every problem, every misstep, every mistake, and I'm going to zoom in on it, and I'm going to, oh, look at this. That's the difference. There's a difference between, like, you're just playing through the game. You're just kind of, like, running your hand along the surface of the table, and you're like, yeah, there's some rough spots here and there. And then there are the people that, like, obsessively, with a fine-tooth comb and a magnifying glass, they intentionally, willfully look for the problems. They're not trying to be critical of the game in a sensible way. They're quite literally on the hunt for flaws. I mean, look at what they did with Assassin's Creed Shadows. You had people that were like going down, however many hours it took them to flirt with and pursue a romance with a man so that they could put the clip on Twitter. But then I'm playing the game and I'm like, that scene was awesome. That story element was dope. I really like this character. Holy frick, this is great. And I'm not on the look. I'm not like hunting for problems. I'm just playing the game. And I'll admit, there are some times where Naue frustrates me when she's on rooftops and stuff. Some of the parkour, it's like, what are you doing? And then last night, I went to jump into some bushes to hide. There was just like a random pole in the bushes. So she just like lands on the pole and just like sits there and stares at the guys as they turn around. And I'm like, what are you doing? Get off the pole. Like, there are certainly some issues with the parkour that have frustrated me, but I'm not like putting out montages of the parkour on Twitter to be like, look how sucky this game is. And it'd be really easy to do that. It wouldn't be difficult at all to like, you find those rough edges and you just fixate on them. In the combat, you're fighting the camera and the AI at the same time. I've not found that to be true. Now with Naue, I'm avoiding combat quite a bit. I'm very surgical in when I want to engage in combat because she dies so fast, right? I'm actually very, very much leaning on stealth with her, and it feels like that's the right choice. I've never heard of that, actually. The characters don't grip me at all. I feel like the story has been told 1,000 times over, and the combat just overstays its welcome, and the story structure is the same as Valhalla, but it doesn't mesh. Maybe because I didn't play Valhalla, it's landing better with me. Right? I don't know. Maybe because I didn't play Valhalla, I have found the storytelling to be exceptional. I'm like, this is so well done. Like, what are you going to do? You have to have crisis, struggle, and resolution in every story. And commonly in stories like this, the crisis is someone dies. The struggle is killing the people that are bad. And the resolution is you have killed the people that are bad. Like, that's your basic story structure for a game like this. I don't feel like anybody complains about this in other games. Keep playing, you will see the drop off. Okay, I'm not sure I've ever played a game where that happens, but I've been waiting for that moment. I'm 15 hours in, I've been waiting for that moment. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know. I bet Mash says, I beat AC Shadows. It took me 53 hours. I give it an 8 out of 10. The story is meh until the last 5 hours when you actually get a lot more story. Also, the patch with the Path Follow horse is huge. So I'm enjoying the story in the early stages, Mash. I don't know. There are some members of the mass organizations where it takes a lot longer than expected. That is true. I like Shadows for 15 hours too, but then Yasuke's combat became a glaring issue along with the level scaling and bloat. I think I probably had burnout from Valhalla because I put 99 hours into it. I mean, we'll see. You guys know if a game starts to annoy me, I'll tell you. You guys know I'm not a very patient guy. You know, if something starts to go in the wrong direction, it'll irritate me. So, no question at all that if it goes in the left, it goes out in left field or starts to degrade. I'll be the first to tell you. Promise Mascot Agency. It doesn't look like it's scoring that well. It doesn't look like it's scoring that well. And Shuhei Yoshida said that was going to be another a really, really good game. Xbox Wake Up Brands trailer. An Xbox Wake Up directed by David Fincher. A wonderfully offbeat fairy tale unfolds. I don't care about this. A lot of reviews I saw said it was serviceable game. But you can't chalk up your complaint as possible. They're just mad. I didn't say that. I'm not chalking up every complaint as people are mad. I separate the two pretty intentionally. There were lots of reviews that said the story just wasn't any good and it really fell flat. And I'm like, I don't know what the frick you're talking about. The way they set up the story is wonderful. Now, if it has a big lull in the middle, I'll let you guys know what I think. I'm 15 hours in and I've been waiting for the moment when it's like, oh, this is what everybody was talking about. I was a little confused last night when it switched me to Yasuke and then his quest was like at the top of the map. And I was like, why is it all the way up there? I've not even gone up there yet. Do they want me to ride my horse all the way up there? So I just started riding. And then I finally looked at the thing and I was like, oh, that's for level 18 and I'm level 15. I think I'm supposed to do stuff down here first. And I sent him back. Like I fast traveled back down. So I think sometimes the questing and the objective board can be a little confusing. Like I'll readily admit that. But I've not had any major issues with the game like yet. I play with Naue. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to favor her because anytime I get to a wall, having to run around it with him, she just hops over it. You know? To be fair, the player doesn't need to do any of the question or side quests. They can definitely focus on story only. You probably would have to lower the difficulty, though. I think you'll get under-leveled if you do that. I see people trash it, but people who did clearly have an agenda, grifters who hate diversity, have gotten quiet since the game has reviewed so well, and they look stupid. Well, they're obsessing over the finances now, which was never the discussion. Naue is my unlock. Yasuke is my walk-in and kill machine. Yeah, he doesn't need walls. Yeah, it's. I got so used to her. It's like, oh, here's a little base. Let me hop up on the wall. With him, you're like, oh, I got to find the door. You're like running around looking for a door. She's just like, whoop, whoop, and she's up and over. Can you play as only Naue? If for most of the game, yeah, you can completely ignore Yasuke if you don't like the fact that you can't parkour or stealth. Which is a huge aspect of Assassin's Creed. I mean, I'll be honest. Suddenly not being able to do that feels really weird, but his combat really makes up for it. Like, he's quite literally a completely separate character in the game. It kind of makes you think they should have just made a game called Yasuke and then just done this game and had you play as Naue the whole time, but, you know. I think something else that contributes to some gamers' negative opinion on games is also fueled by hate farmers on social media and others who have an agenda. I don't know if I feel like Asmongold is a hate farmer. I feel like Asmongold watches 20 videos in a row and just reacts. Right? You know what I mean? I don't have like a high or low opinion of Zach. I'm just like, he's just a content creation machine. I don't feel like he has to play to the fiddle of the algo. I think he can kind of do whatever he wants. He literally like stops covering gaming and will just like watch a court case or watch political stuff. Like he can kind of do whatever he wants. I don't know. There are definitely players in the content creator field who are playing to the algo. They completely switch their brand, their thumbnail styles, their topics. They lean into like the hate, the rage, the salt. I don't feel like that's what he does. I feel like he literally just sits in the chair, has a Chick-fil-A cup in his hand, and hits play on a bunch of videos and just talks. Right? There doesn't seem to be a lot of like forethought there. I'm like, well, I'm gonna rage bait a bunch of people today. It's like, no, he just sits down and watches stuff. I don't know. There doesn't seem to be an agenda. I think there are clear agendas with certain creators. It's just deducible. You go to their channel and every video you're like, yeah, okay. There's a large segment of content creators that are completely driven by the algo. Asmon's one of them. In a different way, though. In a different way. A lot of what he watches is trending, and he watches it because it's trending. That's not the same as being like, oh, this is the current meta. I'm going to make videos like this. Do you see the difference? Like, I feel like he's surfing on top of the trends. He's like, oh, everybody's talking about tariffs. Oh, everybody's talking about Trump. Oh, everybody's talking about Johnny Depp. Oh, everybody's talking about this. And he's just doing this. That's all he's doing. There are other people that are like, oh, I'm going to follow in the wake of whatever's happening on YouTube. People are being negative. People are being nasty. They're salt farming. They're anti-DEI. They're anti-sweet baby, whatever. And then they make all those videos. You see what I'm saying? I feel like there's a difference. I'm not even defending or justifying him. I'm saying I feel like his approach to content's very different. I don't feel like he's like, sitting in his bed at night and he's like, yeah, I've really got to follow this meta or that meta. Like, he doesn't need to follow a meta. He quite literally just hits play on a list of videos, and his editors do the rest of the work. It's interesting because I find a lot of parallels between Avowed and AC Shadows, says Mash. They both have decent combat and graphics, but both I feel fell behind on story and middle bloat. I feel like AC Shadows kicks that snot out of Avowed in combat and graphics. I don't even think they're competing. AC Shadows is like, to me, AC Shadows is like the best looking game this gen. It's hard to put a game above it. It really is. The more I play it, I'm like, this is such a good looking game. He definitely does some of that, not necessarily follow the meta, but playing to his audience. Well, everybody plays to their audience. I mean, I don't have delusions of grandeur. I think maybe I don't play enough to my audience. I get scolded about that pretty regularly. Like, I don't play to the audience. If I think something, I say it. And people are like, man, chat's really disagreeing with you today. I'm like, I don't freaking care. You're using too many big words. I don't care. Like, I think to my peril, I've never played to the audience. I'm like, I don't care if you don't like what I'm saying. I'm going to say it. I did that in Destiny all of the time. I would have takes, predictions, and suggestions, and the Destiny crowd was like, what the frick? They would be very angry. They would be very angry with me. To my peril, I think I don't play to the audience. I'm like, I'm not audience capture. I don't care what you think. I want to hear what you think, but I don't care. I'm not like, oh no, you don't agree with me. I better change what I'm going to say. I'm more interested in disagreement, and that's not born out of being captive to your audience. But I think everybody largely plays to their audience. They kind of have to. to a certain degree. Some to more degrees than others. Some people are definitely audience captured, and they can't break at all. Other people are not necessarily audience captured. We had some good fights back in the day. It got so heated, newcomers thought you were scolding us. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm thankful for the new times. I hear non sequitur now. Oh, the few times. Yeah, the very few times that you hear non sequitur. That's right. Like, I don't think I'm like special or anything. We hope you're enjoying your package. Join this. We'll be sharing some exciting news. Okay. It gets a bit masochist sometimes in here. In what way, B&E? Lono pushed the ban button on me back on... I probably did. I don't watch a content creator for what the audience thinks. The audience is largely inconsistent and not very well thought out. I like creators who have a clear, knowledgeable point. Have you not seen Zach's chat? A bunch of crybabies hating the video and people loving it. It's a mix. Yeah, I don't feel like he's audience captured at all. I feel like, there probably are times where he plays to the audience. I also think he baits. He's very, very intentionally baiting sometimes. Like, he knows people are going to clip, and he knows a clip's going to go viral if he says something. Like, I hope they don't make this game political. Like, he makes that joke like once a year, and every year people fall for it. Right? Every year people fall for his, I hope they don't make Metal Gear Solid political. And every year the clip goes viral. And he knows it's going to go viral. Like, you know what I mean? Listen, I don't agree with him on everything, but there's something about the somewhat like half smile boyish troll that he is sometimes that I like. I'm like, do it. Because people are always out to hurt and to harm and to rail against a person, and I'm like, if you don't like him, just move on. Like, some of the things that people said about him recently, because like, he said something about AI art, right? And people were absolutely vicious. And what's always interesting to me is like, he says something that's just sort of like, the consumer doesn't care. He's just being honest. He's just being pretty blunt. And then he gets viciously and personally attacked, right? So people say all these terrible things about him. And he was like looking at what people were saying. And he's like, you know what none of them are saying? He's like, none of them are saying I'm wrong. It was like, he just immediately like made the observations like, nobody's saying I'm wrong. They're just attacking me. I thought it was interesting. So I kind of like how he baits some of those vicious people into spending their day being vicious, because I think there's an element of justice in that. They're toxic. They think they're righteous and good, and they're just nasty, toxic people. What did Mash say? I couldn't tell what town or temple I was at in AC Shadows because they all look so similar. I feel like most games I'm doing the same thing over and over with different names and lots of time on travel. Oh, yeah. The locations in the buildings definitely start to get very, very samey. They do. They start to get very, very samey. I don't know how they would have avoided that, though. The villages, towns, fences, and the little shanty towns and stuff, that's what they would have looked like. I mean, there's not much you can do with that. He mostly does all politics now. He'll do that and then he'll pivot back. He's done that before. Yeah, he's done that before. He'll do a bunch of political stuff, and then he'll get back into gaming stuff. So it's almost like architecture's kind of uniform. Yeah, it's also an open world game, like Hemi's saying. Like, AC Shadows is an open world game where architecture, in those areas would be pretty uniform and similar. It's just the nature of it. Thought I heard something over here. I was like, what the heck was that? I don't know what I'm hearing. Kyoto's very underwhelming in the game when compared to real life back then. We are here because we disagree and have a conversation. I imagine most of us are in agreement with most. I imagine most of us are in agreement with most of the time. I don't know about that. Mash says, true, but they could have done scenes in the story where they take you to a different world for variety, e.g. like Portugal, or when telling the story of the Assassin League in Rome or Italy. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had any issues with that lately. You definitely, I will say this. I will say this. The need to run around and find pieces of paper or pray for knowledge points. Listen, just listen. Sit down and listen to me, Ubisoft. Okay, stop it. Who did that? Who did that? Why would you do that? Now, I understand if you want me to have this idea that I'm growing in knowledge and you have me go to locations where maybe I talk to a person and then I train and do something for 30 seconds or something and then you give me a knowledge point, that's fine. But running around a shrine and holding down left trigger and looking for white dots so I can pick up pieces of paper and that gives me a knowledge point? Why did you do that? Who thought that was a good idea? It doesn't even make any sense. The lost pages and the praying, it's so tedious. It's like, okay, I like the cave that she did. You had to navigate the cave. You kind of got lost. You're kind of getting turned around. I like the ones in Tsushima. They have some like this too, where you have to climb and you have to navigate, the mountainside and the parkour. I like that because I feel like I'm actually doing something. But like running around a location and looking for paper or spots to pray at, I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm quite literally holding down left trigger because then you're looking and then you see the white dot and you run over to the white dot and you pick up the paper and you do that a couple more times and you get a point. And I'm like, man, you guys really should have thought this through. Little wants to cut more bamboo. That felt like I was doing something. I just did it last night with Yasuke. I went up to a guy and he had me hitting buttons in a different order and then I got a knowledge point from him. I think I got a knowledge point from him. Nintendo is stockpiling millions of Switch 2 consoles from Vietnam for US launch. Yeah, they're getting ready. I hate the open world games are like go collect. I don't want to do that. I want to play the game, not collect random pieces of paper or collect rocks or light torches or blah blah blah. Scaling a mountain, working my way through a mazy cave, or cutting bamboo, that felt like I was doing something. I don't feel like I'm doing anything. The fox dens in Tsushima, again, weren't bad because it was so quick. You'd follow a little fox, you'd climb up a side, and then you'd walk around a corner, and then you'd pray. At least I'm doing something. Going to a location and just running around, I'm like, where's the paper? Where's the paper? Oh, there's the paper, and then I get it. Okay, now I got to find the next piece of paper, and I'm just running around. I'm like, where's the paper? Where's the paper? And it's like, sometimes you'll run past the same spot 3 and 4 times, and then the white dot shows up. And I'm like, well, why didn't you just do that when I first got here? What's the point of that? Like, am I hearing the paper rustling or something? All those companies, I'd still give the game an 8 out. With all those complaints, I'd still give the game an 8 out of 10. For me, it's a bit better than Avowed, a bit worse than Indiana Jones in terms of preferences so far this year. Well, I mean, you're definitely playing a wide gamut of games if you're playing those. I mean, that's a lot of different games to be enjoying, and we're not even close to being done yet. I mean, gee, many Christmas. We're just now into April. Why wouldn't they go ahead and get those units into the U.S.? That's probably what they're doing. Isn't that what that says? And a 20 bomb from MASH takes us to 242. I don't know which mouse. I'm trying to... There we go. 242. Thank you so much, MASH. 8 members away from 250. I owe you guys 5 members right now. Lots of collecting in Tsushima. It wasn't the same, though. It wasn't the same. Like, listen, I don't mind giving me something to do that then gives me like a point or something. That's not the problem. The problem is what they're having me do. Yes, it was. It was not the same at all. Homie, don't tell me what Tsushima was while I'm playing a game that's similar but not even remotely the same at all. And a firebomb comes in from wired rope. The birds got annoying in Tsushima. Oh, that wasn't hard at all. That wasn't hard at all. The katas are like fun mini games. Yeah, I don't mind the katas that you do with Yasuke. I thought that was fine. Chasing a bird or chasing a fox or chopping bamboo, it's not the same as looking for 4 pieces of paper in a small area where I have no means of finding them other than just waiting for the white dots to show up. There are things that you do similar to Tsushima, like climbing the mountains and things like that. Finding the paper and praying, it's not the same at all. Because you go to the location, and I know I'm supposed to pray in this location. And I can't find the spots to pray. I'm just running around, holding down left trigger. And then I'm running around looking for the papers, doing the same thing. I love Tsushima. It's literally the same, but okay. You just keep asserting that it's the same. Expound on what you think is the same. How is it the same? I'm distinguishing a difference between you go to a location, you follow the fox, you do the thing. You go to a location, you follow the bird, you find the thing, you get into the pool or whatever. Yeah, the haikus. Yeah, but again, the haikus, you sit down, you look at something, and then you're done. In the thing I'm taking issue with in Shadows and Stone Spire with, is that 3? He's going to do 3. Yeah, there it is. Perfectly lands the plane on 250. We are a little behind pace this week because I took Monday off. So we're a whole day behind. We got to catch up. We got to end the day at 400. We're talking about bloat, are we not? Well, see, now you're being generic. You can make everything seem the same if you go generic. You got a sword in it. It's the same game. Listen, I'm okay with things like that. I think Yote goes a lot further than Tsushima with making it tedious and busy. Because I go to a location and I know there are pieces of paper to find here. And the method of finding them is so dumb. I hold down left trigger and I run around and look for white dots. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no following a fox, following a bird, hit the buttons in the right order. I'm not contributing to the activity. Does that make sense? When I'm following the fox and I'm following the bird, I'm just kind of paying attention. When I'm cutting the bamboo or I'm doing a kata with Yasuke, the bamboos in Tsushima, the katas in Yote, I'm contributing. When I'm scaling a thing, when I'm parkouring up a mountainside, I'm contributing. When I'm finding the paper or the prayer shrines, I'm not contributing anything. There's no method of doing it quickly or doing it well. I'm holding down left trigger and just running around looking for white dots. You think that following the bird and the fox is just as annoying? Yeah, that's where we don't agree. I feel like following the fox is just straightforward. You just watch him. You just run after him. It's literally busy work. I think some of it is length of time as well. Typically when I would follow a fox and a bird, I would say about 75% of the time, you get there within, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and you're done. At the most, there were some foxes and some birds that required some climbing, and it might take you like 30 seconds, maybe. Some of the ones with the prayer shrines or the paper, I literally go past it. It doesn't show it to me. It's stupid. It's like, I just ran past this and you didn't show me the white dot, and now you're showing me a white dot. Oh, the paper is up inside the building. Like, what the heck? I was just over here. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't feel like I can contribute to it. I liked the haikus because it was it was kind of artistic. It gave it like a sense of, I don't know, meditative purpose. I don't watch content creator for the... Oh, hang on. This is what we as gamers get for capping for no hand-holding on exploration. They removed the directness of being able to go to the right thing and progress the game. I don't think that's what they're doing in Yote. I'm not Did I say Yote a little bit ago? I think I said Yote. Shadows. AC Shadows. I said Yote goes too far. I think somebody had Yote in the chat, and I just read it, and it got into my brain. I did it twice. That's a real problem. My ability to misspeak. I played Tsushima very naturally. I'd be riding to an objective, bird or a fox would pop up, and I'd follow them. That also, I think, is a key difference. Oh, they're adding something to Indy. I thought that was something else. That is a key distinct difference. This doesn't feel natural or organic. I show up to a location and I very mechanically and woodenly and I'm trying to find these prayer shrines in paper. Lone will just let us know he's playing Yote early. Oh, I wish. Just so we're on the same page with the dots, you have to put your pointer on it long enough for it to make a sound, and then it'll stay up in your HUD. No. I'm not talking about that, Zubair. I swear to you this has happened to me, okay? Let's pretend that right to my left, my computer right here, let's pretend that's a building, okay? I'm holding down left trigger, and I look at the building, and it doesn't show me anything. And then I leave, and I go, and I circle the place. And I come back to here, and I hold left trigger, and I look at the building, and then the white dot shows up. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. I looked at this building 10 seconds ago, and there was no white dot. And now there's a white dot. It's not about how long I hold it on the building or anything like that. It's just like, it doesn't show up sometimes. Misspeak, never. We all know that Halo and Hi-Fi Rush aren't first party. Oh my gosh. So irritating. So irritating. And it was all so boring. Check my last. I can't wait for Yote to come out and hear everyone complaining about how it's too similar to either Ghost or Shadows. Y'all are insufferable. What are you talking about? Just got here. I mean, there is nothing happening in gaming news, so we're all over the place. Guys, do me a favor and get us to 300 likes. I appreciate you guys so much tuning in on days like today when there's not much going on and we just kind of make up our own topics. We're talking about AC Shadows and some of the stuff in it that I don't like and some of the stuff in it that I do like. And a 5-bomb comes in from Sneaky Wolf, and he gets us to 255. He might get a little leapfrog here, tempting a 20-bomb to 275. We need somebody to tag team today. You guys can't have MASH doing all of the work. Can't have MASH doing all the work. Drop a comment and tell us your favorite Ghost of Tsushima stands. And a 5-bomb comes in from Siege Master. We don't need 20 bombs when we got guys going on trains. A little 5-bomb train is happening right now. Thank you both, Sneaky Wolf and Siege Master and Sneeze Master. It's a very different game. Future Game Show returns on Saturday. We will co-stream that as we always do. Summer Game Fest schedules are hitting. Xbox Insider says the Xbox Fan Fest was canceled. Possible potential fan backlash if Gears and other Xbox games go multi-platform. I don't know if that's why they're not doing it. I mean, I don't know, maybe. What would happen if MASH stopped one day? Other people would have to pick up the mantle. You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep telling folks to pick up their own memberships. You know what I'm saying? We're way too lopsided. There's about 2,000 folks every month riding on that gifted train, and we're glad for you to do it. We are. We've got a very generous community. But we want to see that. We want to see that switch a little bit. We want that ratio to be a little bit healthier. Did you cover Mind's Eye? My reaction to Mind's Eye was that it wasn't gameplay. I don't think that was gameplay. I think that was fake. They said, here, check out this gameplay, and a bunch of the clips of the gameplay were from the video that they had already shown us. And that to me is always a little confusing. I'm like, wait, there should be a pretty clear, distinct difference between the trailer that you just showed us and quote-unquote gameplay. So I don't think it was gameplay. I think something else. It's like some kind of rendered thing. The lighting effects were weird. The movement was weird. I don't trust the Mind's Eye gameplay, not for a minute. That's very much, that game smells like a bill of goods to me. There's something off. I don't get a good vibe from it at all. Now I could be completely wrong. It could just be, a bad first showing, or a fully rendered trailer that's not real gameplay, so it's setting off some alarm bells in my mind. But yeah, I'm looking at that saying something here doesn't smell right. It just doesn't seem like a genuine showcase of gameplay, which again, that to me is always a concern. Why are you doing that? It seems generic. It looks generic enough to be entirely possible. Yeah. Day before deja vu. I don't think it's to the extreme level of like how the day before was a completely fake game. I don't think it's that extreme. But there's something, like I said, I smell bill of goods. That's what it smells like to me. It's like, yeah, there's something here is I don't know. It's not like the day before, but yeah. Leslie Benzies from Mind's Eye, the creator of GTA before he got kicked out of Rockstar. Yeah, I mean, I know you've got potentially like really big names, big talent working on it, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Mind's Eye, never heard of it. It showed up recently. What were we watching? Was it the was it the PlayStation State of Play? Wasn't that it? Because it was so many games, and it was like one of the last games, I think. Yeah, it was the State of Play, and I remember thinking to myself, something doesn't look right here. Something doesn't feel right. We had watched how many trailers, and that one just had that fake gameplay feel to it, and I don't know. I feel like I've gotten pretty good at sniffing out fake gameplay. I did it with Fable and was consistently told that I was wrong and that it was real gameplay. And then they showed the pre-alpha footage, and I'm like, yeah, I told you we were never looking at real gameplay. I tried to tell y'all, And then State of Decay did the same thing. That's not gameplay. It isn't. You can keep telling me that it is, and you'll be wrong, just like you were with Fable. And with the Mind's Eye footage, I'm like, I don't think that's gameplay. There's something with movement and shooting that I feel like it's easy to pick out when something's off. There's something disjointed about it. Did you watch the Outer World stuff? Yeah, it looks terrible. The game looks fine, but the capture's terrible. There's screen tearing and screen stuttering, and they move annoyingly slow because they're trying to hide it. They're trying to hide it. The person that's doing the recording is trying to hide the screen tearing. I mean, somebody just replied and said, usually I don't notice screen tearing unless it's really bad and the screen is moving around really fast. For it to be so bad that it's that obvious with unnaturally slow, smooth movements, it thinks that this is being rushed out, and we'll hear about the demonic work, and we will hear about the demonic working. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe he means demonic working conditions or something. I would say I'm leaning on capture. I'm leaning on capture. I think their capture method messed up. I think IGN did something. I don't know if it's the game. The problem is, because of the screen tearing, whoever is on the sticks for the Outer Worlds 2 gameplay, like whoever's on the sticks, it's like they're not even able to play well. They have to play like an absolute moron because they're literally having to move so slow that it's like, well, we don't even really get to see the game. It's like you don't even really get to see the game in action. Like, that's not how that game is going to play. It's not going to play that way. They're playing so awkwardly. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I get when you first go into an area or an open place or something and you just want to like slowly pan the camera. You know what I mean? Did chat die? I don't know what's going on today. Something's not right. Turnout's really low. We had people pulling errors. Chat's acting squirrely. I think YouTube's having problems again. If you guys can get us 30 more likes, it can definitely help. But the view count's been all over the place, and that usually means people are having trouble in their refreshing, and somebody couldn't even watch. He was pulling an error. I don't know if he ever figured it out. Check down detector. YouTube down detector. I don't think it's a down problem. Yeah, I mean, starting this morning, it did spike up around the time that we came into and out of morning coffee. It's not high. It's not high, but there's definitely an increase. It blocked some of my messages. Yeah, like Omar was trying to send something in chat this morning. It just wasn't coming through. So I don't know what's going on. Outer Worlds was good enough, but they need to do something better this time around. I don't know if they need to do something better this time around. Just do another one. People really liked the first one. Sometimes you don't have to like completely reinvent your game. You just have to make another one. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's that serious. Sometimes I think with like sequels, you wanna give people more of what they liked, and obviously yes, improve things and make things better. But you don't need to like reinvent the wheel. The last one was borderline dated. I watched the Outer Worlds 2 stream. I watched 15 seconds of it and saw screen tearing. It's bad. Yeah, it's really bad. We're not quite sure what happened. We're not really sure what happened. Did they get bad capture? Was the game missing features? Could they not turn on VSync or something? I don't know. If it was on IGN for the screen tearing earlier, they should have said something, or the devs should have. I would honestly think that IGN, of all parties, should be the one to say, hey, we messed this up. Oh, I agree. Like, record new footage and delete that video and say, hey, we had to take that video down. It was such a terrible capture. Especially if, You release that footage the day they announced the Outer Worlds 2 Direct this summer. A lot of people are watching that footage. I like when sequels feel like the first game made with a bigger budget. Sony nails that. Yeah, like I don't think Outer Worlds 2 looks like they're failing in that regard. To me, it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. They're delivering a newer, bigger, flashier, better looking. I don't know. Triple Initiative Showcase. Everything announced. Oh, did they just do... When did they do this? Did they do it overnight? Everything announced at the Triple Initiative Showcase. Oh, is it just starting? Oh, they have a premiere that's starting right now. What's Triple Initiative? 35 announcements in 45 minutes. No ads, no hosts, just games. You heard that crack? Yeah, felt good. They have a 16-minute countdown now. Have they indicated anything about what's Triple Initiative do? Oh, they're the ones making the altars. Pull it up. Pull it up, Jamie. Yeah, we'll pull it up in 16 minutes. I mean, there's nothing else going on. We're just kind of shooting the bull. And then eventually I'm just going to switch to a gameplay stream of Blueprints. Yeah, they're going to have a lot of announcements. True SSJ Havoc. Oh my gosh, I forgot to tweet your freaking GoFundMe. Can you DM it to me again? 261. Thank you so much. Thank you, True SSJ Havoc. I forgot to do that. That is my bad, dude. Yeah, Ghost Ship's going to be there. Yeah, this will be worth watching. This will give us something to do. Blueprints. I'm getting ambushed by Shinobi now in AC Shadows. It's awesome. Not much is showing support. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Oh, I forgot to set the super chat goal. Hang on 1 second. 5 super chats. I will gift a member. Well, there we go. Right now, I owe you guys 10 members as well. So we'll just keep racking that up throughout the day. And we need 25 more likes on the video. Make sure you've done that. We're going to, in about, how many minutes now? In 14 minutes, we're going to watch the Triple Initiative. They're going to have a bunch of games and a bunch of announcements. So, okay, there we go. True SSJ Havoc. All right. Thank you for the GoFundMe link. Hey, let me check and see how it's, how you doing over there? How we doing? 8:42 already. 8:42 already. Guys, this stream is not marked as a fundraiser, but I am going to put a GoFundMe in chat. True SSJ Havoc. Who is this in relation to you? Is it grandmother or mother? I can't actually remember now. I'm very sorry. It's mother. Sorry. It's right there on the top of it. I'm going to put a GoFundMe in the chat, guys. This is True SSJ Havoc trying to raise funds for the funeral. A bunch of us already tipped yesterday. And if you feel like you can give. If you can't, that's fine. Maybe share it somewhere else or spread the word. We've already got him close to like 1/5 of what he needs. And I'll try to tweet that out later too. I've got to remember to do that. I don't know if a modern audience can pay attention for 45 minutes without breaks for corny jokes. Very much appreciate. Very sorry for your loss, bro. You're not alone. We're here for you. Thank you for the super chat, Stone Spire. Appreciate that, dude. That's very, very kind. Very, very kind. I like seeing that GoFundMe go up, man. You guys brought the support yesterday. We greatly appreciate it. He's at 15% of the goal already. And yeah. Every little bit adds up, you know. $5 here, $10 there. Vapor says, whoever did that gifted, thank you. I'm pretty sure you got snagged in Mash's 20 bomb. Pretty sure. Let's go here. There we go. So we're going to be watching a Triple Initiative stream in about 12 minutes. Gaming news is a little slow right now. A little slow. Which blueprints would help me remember the Outer Wilds magic again. Huh? That sentence doesn't make any sense. Oh. I turn it off because I don't want the mic to pick up the... It's like high pitched. Huh? Oh, no. I don't know what he was saying. Yeah. What's the conversation about? Not really anything. Throw something out there, ask a question. I don't really have... I've not been getting the best sleep. I don't have the energy to just keep pushing and pulling teeth here. We're not really getting a whole lot of news right now. We're waiting for this event here, Triple Initiative. So feel free to submit questions, throw something out. I can't drive the train alone, man. I run out of steam sometimes when there's just nothing. There's just nothing happening right now. We're in that lull. We keep getting these calms before the storm. Nintendo kind of kicked things off, and then the dust settles, and then the news cycle just goes quiet. Today in gaming news, there's literally nothing. That's right. I don't have this pulled up. Let me pull open the thing here. Did I see the Tron trailer? I did not. I actually avoid lots of trailers and stuff now, generally speaking. Yeah. Why is it universally accepted that Zelda games are for children? I mean, they are, but now how have we all managed to agree on the truth? This stream from Triple Initiative is going to start in 9.5 minutes. Too many movie trailers give too much away. Yeah. There's no more Xbox Fan Fest. The showcase will be digital only. Yep, that was officially announced. It'll be digital only. Yep. That's all I got, unless we're going to complain about things costing money. Nintendo Greed didn't crap the bed today. No. This was our strongest lead, which I hated this as a lead, by the way. Are we getting Titanfall 3 or am I going to be sad forever? That was our strongest story, which was Titanfall 3 grand opening, grand closing, which was a reliable Apex leaker says it's coming, it's almost done, here's all the details, and then Jeff Grubb is like, I don't know where this is coming from. This isn't true. I don't know who's right. I genuinely can't tell. I can't tell. I don't know. Like, Grubb didn't necessarily falsify the claim. He just said what Respawn's working on right now. He's like, there's only one team that could conceivably working on this, and they're a small team doing like prototype stuff. So the guy that got the leak said his source at Respawn is extremely confident, just wasn't confident in the release date. Grubb's doing damage control. That phrase doesn't even apply here. What would he be doing damage control for? I don't understand that sentence. What would he be damage controlling? The leak? Wait. I'm confused. Why would Grubb, a known leaker, do damage control for a leak? That doesn't make any sense. If he, like, let's flesh this out. That would hurt his credibility, would it not? If it comes out to be true. If he knows it's true and he's trying to do damage control for Respawn, which I have no idea why he would do that, doesn't that work against what he does? That would be a self-inflicted wound. I don't think that's what he's doing. He listed all the projects that are being worked on, whether it's Jedi 3, Apex Legends, and then and then the prototype team. Not working on the game prototype, but like they're prototyping stuff. What about my last comment? Do you know if Respawn Studios is working with Battlefield also? No, I don't know anything about that, no. It's like Clue, The Outer Wilds, and The Sims, and Binding of Isaac had a child. The reviews are rolling in for Blueprints. Yeah, they look good. We've seen others do it, but Grubby doesn't really sit and move in the way that I've... Yeah, we've seen other people. There was the time that Jason Schreier and some other people shot down Spartan Bathrobe or whatever their name was, and I don't think they liked getting scooped. I don't think they liked getting scooped because it all ended up being true, and they ended up reporting on it later. And it's like, well, are you guys going to issue an apology to Spartan Bathrobe for basically calling them a liar? You know, I definitely think there are insiders who don't like when they get scooped, and they'll try to delegitimize the other, the other leakers or the other insiders or whatever. So, but I don't think that's what Grub's doing. Grub's just like, I've not heard anything about this. The only team that could be working on it is working on like, small team working on like prototype stuff. So I don't know. It doesn't seem to me that that's what he's doing. When you've been scooped and now you're wrong too, that seems like a bad plan. That's what I mean. Like, I don't think he's doing damage control. That wouldn't make any sense. Why would he basically damage his own credibility? What would be the purpose of that? All I'll say is where there's smoke, there's usually fire. I'm inclined to believe that they're both describing the same elephant, right? If you're in a dark room and you're blindfolded and you're touching an elephant and you're like, well, the elephant is like a tree because you're touching the leg. And then, the elephant's like a snake because, one's touching this trunk or whatever. I don't know. I feel like they could both be right. They both have intel, but they're somehow coming at it from the wrong. Their intel is coming from different perspectives. Like, maybe everything the one guy said is accurate. Like, that's what they're building. Maybe it's just not right around the corner. And maybe the info that Grub has is like, that's the team that just got greenlit to work on it. It's just, that could be an easy wire cross, right? Here's everything we're going to do. We're going to build it. We're going to build it this way. This is what we're going to build, and hand it to that team. And this guy gets it reversed or backed or something wrong where they're like, oh no, it's ready to go. It's basically almost done. I don't know how you mess that up. That's a pretty significant claim to be like, yeah, it's basically already done. Like, I don't know how you get that wrong. It's the story of the creepy old guys groping an elephant. Yeah, the 7 blind man and the elephant. Right. Have you played the secret level in Split Fiction? It's so hard. What secret level are you talking about? Guys, if you haven't done so yet, man, smash that like button. Get us to 300 likes. If you haven't celebrated your renewal, try to get us to the next milestone on the member count. Make sure you're celebrating those. What are your thoughts on Project 007 coming to the Switch? I need to see more before I'm going to care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like GoldenEye, but there's been a lot of attempts to hang on, I was going to pull up the questions. There's been a lot of attempts to do stuff with it that I don't know. Stonespire asked, who are Triple Initiative? The only game I recognize, like Deep Rock Galactic, The Altars, stuff like that. There is a lift that takes you to a secret area with a level called Laser Hell. The lift is activated by a binary code. Oh, that's the first time hearing about that. I didn't know that was in Split Fiction. Any news on Stalker 2 coming to PS5? No. I'm fairly certain it was common knowledge that that was like a 6-month exclusive, but... Yeah, the first 2 people that did it, yeah. They're going to get to go out and see the new game. All right. Let's see what these guys have to show. Yes, this is the new one from Ghost Ship, Deep Rock. This is a rogue, though. Yeah. I really want Deep Rock Galactic Survivor to come to consoles and get co-op. That one looks fun too.
Just men. We are one people, bound by courage, not fear. They came to our land, seeking the power of a fallen stone. Today we stand and fight for the right to live free! Hold the line! Let them go! Scotland will never kneel!
You've got nowhere left to run.
Heresy isn't a myth or a bedtime yarn. It's real. It's dangerous. It's what we fight against.
The demons above, the beasts below.
And the heretics within.
You have everything it takes to really help Antioch.
What do you want us to do?
I won't lie to you. We're in a crisis.
That's life in the bishops. The apocalypse is always a couple of days away. You'll get used to it. Just remember that when you're a bishop, and the difficult choices come,
save yourself. Abandon the false god. There are laws even gods cannot violate.
Yo, welcome back, Warhawk. Thanks for keeping your membership with me for 17 months.
I am many things. I have been many things. God.
outsider,
Wanderer.
captive.
But the names I have had are nothing compared to those I will soon earn. I carry a searing flame that has flickered yet never extinguished, and an iron mantra that cannot be broken. The waiting will soon be over.
I think that concept could be fun with some buds. I think that could be fun. Oh yeah, this is Moonlighter 2. They've really changed the style. I think this looks great. Yeah, we've seen that one before, the new version of it. Oh, this one looks really good too. Like basically like cozy space exploration auto like simulator thing. Like it's a lot of things. Starbirds. I've already got that one wish listed. I got a lot of these already wish listed. I love games like this. Like Escape Simulator. I like playing these on Friday night with you guys and Madam. It's fun. It looks like you can play with up to 4 people. Oh, it's a sequel! I didn't know they were making a sequel to Escape Simulator. They added the VR thing. You can play it in VR. Yeah, Hilly, we gotta play that again. It's so fun. I will take your apology in the form of a letter. Play the demo. Hilly and I have to finish Split Fiction. Every cozy game is like, cue the super great piano music and go. Oh, is this DLC for Enshrouded? Here, let me go,
Pick up your camera. Show me what you truly see.
I need to head up that mountain. My home's up there.
That's not exactly walking distance.
Yo, Entropy Effect looks sick. Entropy Effect looks sick, and they're getting the Dead Cells thing and co-op.
Well, I can't let a kid go up there alone.
They say I'm fading away.
If anyone should be gone, it's failures like me. Not someone with their whole life ahead.
Hey!
Yeah, I don't know if is it coming to consoles?
Every star up there is a flame.
If there's a god in the fire, would they see the moments that we capture?
Even the ones that show what's in our hearts.
Yeah, it looks like Entropy Effect is Steam only. Are they planning a console release? That's such a bummer. It looks so good, and the couch co-op would be so fun with Madam.
Hey kiddo, when you make it back, I hope you grow up strong. Even when your best isn't enough, try to stay brave.
If there's something you want to keep, capture it so it stays.
Over the years, more and more players have embraced X4, not just as a first-person space sim, but as a deep, strategic, empire-building experience. We are very excited to today announce the X4 Diplomacy update for later this year. For the first time in the X series history, you will be able to negotiate, forge alliances, broker truce, and shape the fate of the universe. Not just through war, but through diplomacy. Will you seek peace, or power, or total dominance? The choice is finally yours.
Is this from the people that made 19th? It actually looks kind of fun. I forget what they made. Is it the guys that made
Dancing in darkness.
Sifu?
I don't feel like doing this today. I just want to sit inside and play video games.
Vampire Survivors partner with everybody.
They call him Easy-Rock. Ain't alive, but they ain't dead neither. Shadows, eyes burning like the devil's own fire. If you hear their whispers, run. They lurk in the dark, wander too deep, and you're theirs. Shh. Quiet now. They're close.
was gonna say, I thought it was V Rising.
My star. Going back sounds tempting, doesn't it? But if we're always looking back, we'll miss everything the present has for us.
Oh, yeah. This game looks hot. I think this one's still a ways out, though, isn't it? I don't even think this is this year. Morbid Metal early access in the summer.
こんにちは、西康則です。僕は最近 The Eternal Life of Goldman の作曲チームに加わりました。でも、もしかすると皆さんこう思うかもしれません。おいお前、作曲家なのにどうして音楽がないの？それがまさに問題なんです。まだ何も作ってないんですよ。このゲームはとても複雑なテーマを扱っていて、多くのアイデアが混ざり合っています。正直少し迷子になってます。
Have no fear, Yasunori. I was in your shoes not long ago, but then I remembered. In the abyss of chaos, you can always grab onto the strongest thing there is. Love! The events leading to the eternal life of Goldman are a tragic love story, so just try to imagine what a broken heart sounds like.
And wherever there's love, there's death. This game mixes ancient tales and legends with religious motifs. A bold ensemble that gives us a glimpse into the darkest corners of the human soul. Imagine the sound of a sinner's knees trembling before the Last Judgment.
That's all well and good, kids, but let's not forget, The Eternal Life of Goldman is, first and foremost, a cutthroat video game. And what's music supposed to do in a cutthroat video game? Get the pulse going so hard in your temples, you have a stroke.
なるほど。ありがとうみんな。なんとなくつかめてきたよ。ちょっとじゃあやってみましょう。こんな雰囲気とかどうでしょう。
That one, I like the look. I really like the look of that one.
Felt it. This fierce anger, ruthless curse. And I didn't protect her. If she's alive, we've got a chance.
Hey, I'll find her. You're alive. You're there.
What the hell is this?
Stay back!
He came down from the summit.
It's like Balatro for druggies or something.
Bama, what's your emergency? On the street. Hello? Sir? I can't hear you. Hello? They are burning.
Unmask the visitors before it's too late.
I'm good.
World premiere. Welcome subject 1473. The connection to the program has been established. Compliance confirmed. Subject 1473. Outcome confirmed as death. Test restart required.
You remain secure within the program.
Multi-plat. That one looked good. I thought they were going to do one more thing.
World premiere.
Hello everyone, I'm Daniel, solo game developer and creator of Voidbreaker. You might know me from my previous work on the Entropy Center, but today I'm going to introduce my latest project.
I knew it reminded me of something. Entropy Center is such a good game.
Momentum and insane weapon modification systems.
You remain secure within the program.
I hope you enjoyed the trailer, but I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into the game now. There is an open playtest on Steam right now if you want to give it a try.
Well, I don't typically...
I was a video editor.
I don't always expect one more thing, but they teased it earlier that there might be one more thing.
This is my second game after releasing the Entropy Center at the end of 2022. But now it's time to kick it up a notch. This game is all about movement and high-octane visceral combat that rewards aggressive and skillful play. You'll be dashing, rail grinding, and sliding through the chaos, taking on waves of relentless AI foes. But before we go any further, let's talk about the chaos that is environmental destruction. One of the most exciting core mechanics of Voidbreaker is its environmental destruction. I wanted to craft a game from the ground up that intertwined visceral destruction with intense FPS gameplay. Leveling buildings, blasting through walls, and wreaking havoc isn't just for show though, it's key to your survival. Hostiles that take enough destruction damage become staggered, providing an opening for attack. In this state, enemies are much weaker, and when taken down, they'll drop health and ammo, resources you'll need plenty of. You're equipped with multiple tools to wreak havoc on your enemies, such as an impact grenade, a quick and fast tool for destroying structures. You could destroy the supports of a building, trapping enemies inside for easy pickings. Or how about destroying the floor that an enemy is stood on, to give yourself a bit of breathing space. Next, the gravity tether, a powerful tool that allows you to manipulate objects in the environment, launching them towards hostiles. Throw explosive barrels, singling out a specific enemy. Or decimate entire buildings, staggering multiple enemies at once. The spaces in Voidbreaker are handcrafted sandboxes for you to maximize your destructive potential. Don't hold back, because the enemies sure as hell won't. Now, let's talk about one of the most exciting parts of the game, the weapon modification system. Modules are core to your arsenal, allowing you to create mechanically complex and diverse weapon combinations. Throughout the world, you will find a variety of modules which enhance your weaponry in many different ways. The system allows you to attach any variety of modules to your weapon to receive different and sometimes strange results. Projectile modules will physically alter the projectile you fire, as well as changing the look and feel of your weapon. Projectile modules use varying degrees of ammo, so you'll want to make sure you're collecting plenty from enemies. For example, Fire Shot will alter your weapon so that it produces fire, giving a chance to burn enemies. Blast Wave Charge can turn your shotgun into a multi-grenade launcher. Spark Breaker will fizzle into an array of sparks, ticking damage over time. Next, you might come across Wall Ricochet, a type of weapon module that makes projectiles bounce off walls. And then how about you find a fully automatic module, which adds a fully automatic fire mode to your weapon. Finally, you find a homing modifier that makes projectiles gravitate towards nearby enemies. Suddenly, in just 4 modules, you've gone from a base pistol to a makeshift flamethrower. Let's try another. How about we start with the base shotgun? We find Impact Spread, a module that greatly increases hipfire damage, but also greatly decreases accuracy. Then we add Ice Wave Charge, a type of projectile module, making our shotgun shoot ice grenades. Then what if we found a Charged Shot module, a type of fire mode mod that requires you to hold the trigger down? And then let's say we found Voltaic Arc, which adds arcs of electricity between projectiles. Now we've got a strange shotgun that deals more damage the longer you hold the trigger, all whilst shooting ice grenades attached with webs of electricity. If it sounds crazy, it's because it is. Whether you are shooting fire-enhanced missiles, electric shockwave rounds, or ice orbs that freeze enemies in midair, the possibilities and combinations are endless, and I can't wait to see what people come up with. Eventually, your inventory space will begin to dwindle, so you'll have to use clever and strategic placement of invoker modules to open up more slots for your disposal. Repeaters are a special type of utility module that add additional repetitions to nominated slots. Remember that makeshift flamethrower from earlier? Well, Fire Shot will have a higher chance to burn enemies the more executions it has. Adding additional repeats to Wall Ricochet will increase the amount of times it can ricochet off a surface. So now, with a strategically placed setup, our makeshift flamethrower has become even more powerful. Each new weapon brings its own distinct playstyle and a unique inventory slot pattern, forcing you to adapt and experiment. A setup that works for one weapon might fall apart for another, so it's up to you to experiment and become a master of the module system.
Is this a rogue? Have they said that it's a rogue?
Beyond weapons, there are a variety of other mods that drastically alter gameplay, granting you powerful abilities to utilize during combat. These could be tools such as time-slowing abilities, defensive barriers, and even explosive traps. One of my favorites is Ignite Launcher, that allows you to pick up lesser enemies with a gravity tether and throw them towards enemies. Or how about Side Burst Engine? This will make enemies that have an elemental effect applied explode on death, spreading the element to those nearby. Or maybe you come across Credit Rage, which will increase your damage relative to the amount of credits that you have. The richer you are, the harder you'll hit. And again, all of these can be stacked in interesting and unique ways. Let's also not forget corrupted modules, an extremely rare module type that is glitched and corrupted by the program. I'll defer to you to find those and experiment for yourselves. The possibilities are endless, and your experimentation and adaptability will be key to your survival in the world of Voidbreaker. The simulation will continue to break you down and throw new enemies and anomalies that stand in your way. Tougher elementally infused enemies will directly counter some builds, so strategic and preemptive planning and adaptability will be key to your survival. You are able to hot switch between projectiles mid-combat, so whether you go all in on a certain build direction at risk of potentially being countered later in a run, or hoard a wide variety of modules giving you flexibility for any circumstance. The choice is totally up to you and your challenge to overcome. Voidbreaker takes place in a corrupt simulation. Players will take on the role of a prisoner captured by Idris, a malevolent AI being, who's hell-bent on keeping you trapped within his perpetual testing algorithm. As you progress, you'll uncover more about this world, piecing together the mystery of his origins, and perhaps even a possible chance of escape. I looked towards the pitfalls of current AI technology, the way artificial intelligence generates images that feel uncanny and almost unnatural. That philosophy has been a key part of Voidbreaker's visual identity, creating a world that feels like it's generated by a rogue AI that's desperately trying to mimic reality, but leaving behind those little imperfections, a horizon of uncanny liminal spaces ready to be explored, and lurking within, the unsettling creations of Idris, relentless, eerie beings with only one directive: to break you down. The world of Voidbreaker is random each time you enter, so your run-to-run experience will be fresh each time. There are secrets, new mods, and mysteries behind every corner. Find unexplored chasms, secret caves, and remnants of other inmates before you. And when you explore that secret cave, the program will not generate that area again in future runs, giving an RPG-like experience to the exploration. You'll come across obelisks, corruptors, stalls, strange elevators that take you to random locations, and many, many more, all potentially offering run-altering diversions. You are a prisoner of Idris, condemned to eternity within their perpetual testing algorithm. Escape isn't by choice, but a necessity. Before you lies a previous inmate, now corroded and minimized to a small piece of undying malware, a digital echo and unlikely ally. Discovering backrooms, hidden areas, and the guts of a simulation, you're able to chip away at a possible escape plan with their assistance. Begin to hack, manipulate, and subvert the program itself, gain access to hidden advantages, and arm yourself with experimental weaponry. What more you find behind those walls is a mystery I'll leave for you to unravel. Voidbreaker is releasing in 2025 to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. There is an open playtest on Steam right now if you want to give it a try. Please also join our Discord channel, share your thoughts, feedback, and your crazy builds. I'm looking forward to evolving the game and continuing to build it with the community. It's been an absolute pleasure to be part of a III showcase. That's everything for now, so stay tuned for more updates, and I hope you enjoy your time in the world of Voidbreaker.
Yeah, he does really, really good work. I mean, Entropy Center is really, really good. Like, surprisingly good. So, that game looks awesome. It looks really, really awesome. We're going to be jumping into blueprints very, very soon. Because they're basically just going to be deep diving into all these games.
When we first started working on our game, we knew we wanted to create an experience that truly immerses players in the sheer power of nature. Its raw beauty, but also its unforgiving side. The initial idea came from Fire of Love, a stunning documentary about a French volcanologist couple who dedicated their lives to studying active volcanoes. The film featured breathtaking, almost surreal footage of eruptions, glowing lava flows, and towering ash clouds. It was impossible to watch those phenomena without feeling a sense of awe and even fear. That was the spark. We started digging deeper into the subject and soon realized we didn't have to look far for the inspiration. Iceland, with its intense volcanic activity, became a treasure trove of ideas. We saw incredible potential in this motif, not just for creating a visually striking setting, but also for designing an experience that feels hypnotic and deeply emotional. Our research took us in many directions. We pored over scientific studies, explored mythology and folklore, revisited Werner Herzog's documentaries, reflected on our own travels, and even drew inspiration from classic disaster films of the 80s and the 90s. It was a process similar to what we did with The Invincible, where we immersed ourselves in a world of space exploration before building our vision. What fascinated us most about volcanoes, though, was how alien they feel. They belong to our planet, yet their peaks, their craters, the way they breathe fire and reshape landscape, it all feels otherworldly, almost as if they were a gateway to something beyond Earth. That profound sense of mystery and power is precisely what we set out to capture in our game. In our game, we'll bring to life the experience of being a rescuer, thrust into the chaos of a disaster of an unprecedented intensity. Players will have to make split-second decisions, constantly balancing risk and survival while navigating an ever-changing environment to save lives. Every choice will carry weight, shaping the gameplay in meaningful ways, but this world will be much more than just fire and destruction. You will uncover a reality deeply intertwined with volcanoes, one that will transcend human understanding, blending myth, mystery, and forces beyond science. The gameplay we create will be incredibly immersive, at times almost hypnotic. The battle against the elements will unfold not only in raging fires and volcanic ash, but also within the hub, a refuge teeming with survivors and other living beings. Though the game will feature mechanics reminiscent of shooters, its goal will be entirely different. This won't be about elimination, but rescue. The player's arsenal will include unconventional tools, such as suppression pistol, an extinguishing shotgun, and a firebomb launcher. Destruction will be just as crucial. An axe, a hammer, or even a well-placed kick will clear paths and open access to critical areas. But survival won't be just about brute force. It will require planning. Seismograph readings will help predict dangers, while inventions like the fire extinguisher will buy precious time against the advancing threat. The right tools will be crucial and could mean the difference between life and death. The hub will be more than just a shelter. It will be the heart of your operations. It's where you'll provide refuge for those you save, gather information about missing persons, and uncover the island's secrets. You will expand the hub and embark on missions from there, selecting the disaster zones you want to visit and choosing the right gear for the challenges ahead. It will also be the place where you upgrade your equipment, preparing for the escalating dangers that await. Time will be a crucial resource. Just like water, it will constantly be slipping away. You won't be able to save everyone, but you will be able to buy precious seconds by finding smarter, faster ways to traverse the terrain. Mobility will be just as crucial as strategy. The game will offer diverse traversal mechanics. Rope equipment will expand movement options and help save the precious time that will be so vital in this world, while retro sleds will allow for rapid navigation across hazardous terrain. In Into the Fire, the true challenge will go beyond the raw fury of nature. Mysterious adversaries will also stand in your way, and soon you will learn more about the forces lurking in the shadows.
Frank, the protagonist of our game, is a man in his early 30s, a member of a research team with a deep fascination for nature, but a certain detachment from people. He arrived on the island to study an extinct volcanic range, expecting a quiet scientific expedition. However, a sudden natural disaster will shatter that peace, forcing him into a desperate fight for survival. As the disaster unfolds, Frank will have to confront not only the fierce forces of nature, but also his growing sense of responsibility toward the survivors. Set at the foot of an erupting volcano, Frank's journey will take him to the border of two worlds, the living and the dead, where the boundaries between them will blur in the shadows of eruptions. As he navigates this perilous landscape, he will encounter people with different life paths, each with their own beliefs, personalities, and views on survival. Some will be driven by scientific reasoning, others by faith, and some by sheer willpower. These characters, with their diverse backgrounds and contrasting approaches to life and death, will challenge Frank's understanding of the world.
Stay back. You'll make this place look too respectable.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. I was definitely interested in the Void Breaker breakdown. I thought that was cool and helpful, but I'm getting a setup. I'm just going to switch gears to Blueprints. I want to play it, and I don't want to belabor the point, and we're losing folks anyway. Okay. What? 2 unforgettable stories in one package, introducing The Last of Us Complete, coming to PS5 today. Experience a complete story. For those who don't want to buy them separately. Does anybody else feel like that kind of confirms that what Druckmann said? How can you have a product in existence called Last of Us Complete if you're going to do a third game? That feels like confirmation that they're not doing a third game. Look sensitivity, invert look Y. Okay. Hang on a second. Why are we not getting audio? How do we get multiple going away tours from bands? I guess. I don't know. That just feels really, really weird. There's no impetus to do it right. Well, the impetus is the show, I suppose. going to sell the complete edition remastered, part 3. Right? Like, I don't know. I think we'll have to talk about that. That might be a video. All right, I am going to spam a link in chat, and then I'm going to also redirect us. There we go. Click the link in chat. Redirect's not super reliable, y'all. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you're watching it later when I wasn't live, I'm diving in brand new to Blueprints on my PS5 Pro. I did buy the game. It is on Game Pass and PS Plus, but I wanted to support the devs because this thing's getting so much praise, and I think it looks so fun. So if you're looking for Blueprints gameplay, right here for you, diving into the Blueprints game today. I'm going to redirect the previous stream. We do talk shows and uploads pretty regularly here, and I'm going to end that previous stream and bring folks over. That